Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. You probably know what we're reviewing today because obviously you saw the title and my goofy thumbnail, but we are going to be reviewing the newest release from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, 724, a sparkly effervescent white floral with musk from the house. Shocker. But this one's actually really interesting, really fun. I'm super excited for this, and I wanted to compare it to the other styles of this type of fragrance, other musky white florals with a hit of citrus, and talk to you guys about why I think this one is so awesome. So let's get into the review. Now, most importantly, this was a purchase, was not sent to me to review. I am a huge lover of this house, and Francis Kurkdjian is my favorite nose. Love Francis Kurkdjian. I had the opportunity to meet him one time, which was excellent. I collect his fragrances, I love his stuff, and whenever I smell something and I'm like, I like this, and I research who the nose was, it's usually him. That's just how it works. Now, he is known for the cult fragrances like Le Male, and more notably, currently, Baccarat Rouge 540 from his house. But when I think about his house overall, I think about the style of perfumes he comes out, obviously his beautiful way of really representing oud, his gorgeous Grand Soir. I think that what he really represents in his house the best and the most consistent is sparkly white musks, citruses, and white florals. So this is a very cohesive fragrance in his lineup, in my opinion. It's not something new or groundbreaking or different from his other fragrances. So if you are tired of those scents from him, you might want to pass or just try this first. Obviously, try fragrances first. But if you enjoy those fragrances a lot and you want something a little bit different, a little bit new, maybe a little bit cleaner, crisper, fresher, a little bit more aldehydic, then this is one that I think you're really going to enjoy. The notes in this fragrance right here, we have aldehydes, bergamot, a variety of different white florals. There's also jasmine, sandalwood, and white musks. So yes, the sparkly, musky, white floral fragrances. Now this has been, I've noticed when I was watching Sebastian's review, he definitely referenced that it was very similar to Aqua Universalis and Aqua Universalis Forte. I will say that those are very similar to this. The biggest comparison, I would say, specifically to Aqua Universalis Forte, is that the citruses in Aqua Universalis Forte on my skin to my nose smell a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more deeper, and a little bit more pithy. And what I mean by that is it smells a little bit more bitter, pithy green, and that concentration lends itself to be something that is a beautiful citrus fragrance that can be worn year-round. And the bergamot with the aldehydes in here are slightly more sparkly. Also, I find the opening in Aqua Universalis, at least in the summertime, to pull a little waxy on me, which I really enjoy. And usually when it's colder, it's a little bit crisper and more bitter. This fragrance, obviously, I've only worn it like right in the beginning of September, so the weather's starting to get more idealistic and less soupy in Florida swampy weather. I find that this to be sparkly and bright and crisp and clean. This is a clean fragrance, a crisp fragrance. The thing that I want to kind of quickly say is, because I don't think I need to sit here and break down a sparkly white musky floral fragrance from Francis Kurkdjian. I think we all can in our head know what that smells like, because this isn't a new composition. What people idealistically think these should smell like and what realistically these do smell like are two different things. And in the middle, in the gray, is where a lot of the fragrances go. And what I like about this one is when I think of something like more modern, more shared, almost more on the masculine side, green and crisp and bright, this leans more towards the idealistic way that I would expect those fragrances to smell, and I really enjoy that. Now, this was inspired, or the creativity and the inspiration was kind of more of an urban landscape. So this was supposed to be something that was a little bit more modern, a little bit less whimsical, a little bit less romantic countryside in France. Supposed to be a more modern landscape. And so that bright, crisp cleanness, in my opinion, feels like a more modern take on some of his more, I'd say, timeless white floral, citrusy, white musky fragrances. And I find that it really translates well and successfully in 724. Now, there's a variety of different white florals in here with a very distinctive jasmine note. The jasmine in here is green and fresh. And that green, fresh jasmine really sits nicely on this kind of bed of sandalwood and musk that just smells very attractive, very fresh, and there's something about it that's very sexy, effortless, and chic. But there's no coziness to this. There's no warm fuzziness to this fragrance. It's all very energizing, and I love the way that this just plays on the skin in a way that's revitalizing, energizing, all those words I've been saying over and over and over again. But it's really hard for me to sit here and break down jasmine, musk, sandalwood, bergamot, and citrus. I really feel like instead of me saying, this is what the bergamot smells like, this is what the white must smell like, since we all knows what those smell like, it's more important to kind of tell you what the vibe of this fragrance is and compare it to other fragrances from this house, specifically Aqua Universalis and Aqua Universalis Forte. Because if you're going to be spending, I think this size bottle was like $275, you're going to be spending almost $300 for a bottle of a white musk fragrance. You've got to know what you're getting. And so if you have a collection of white musk floral fragrances from this house, you should know, do you need this? Do you need to add this to your collection? And I would say that it would depend on the other fragrances. So what I like about what he does with white musks, woods, florals, citruses, energizing, sparkly fragrances, is that each of them smell very similar and cohesive, but they do have notable differences to them. And that doesn't mean that you should buy them all, but that means that if you're looking for the perfect version of one of those fragrances, his house might have it for you. If you want something a little bit more sweet, if you want something a little bit more aromatic, if you want something a little bit more dry, if you want something a little bit more bitter and crisp, he's got a nice variety of well-balanced, beautifully composed, sparkly, white, floral, musky fragrances. And what I like about 724 is it is this very almost unisex, borderline on masculine, cream, fresh, laundry, fresh-esque type of scent that has a beautiful brightness from this bergamot, but the bed of musks and sandalwood with this distinctively green, fresh jasmine, and everything else is kind of working together to add a nice floral aroma to the scent. Smells very modern, but doesn't smell very harsh. It is clean and fresh and crisp and all those words that I've literally been regurgitating and redundantly been bloating this video up with over and over and over again, but those are the best descriptive words I can say. And I think that if you understand, and a lot of people understand what a white, musky, floral fragrance smells like, is that that's generally why people love those fragrances. They like how fresh they smell. They like how crisp they smell. They like how energizing they are. And sometimes those fragrances can pull to a laundry detergent like dryer sheet. This doesn't do that. It smells like it was inspired like beautiful laundry. And I have used his laundry detergent before, the Aqua Universalis laundry detergent. My laundry has never smelled better, and I actually haven't purchased it in a while, and I need to get some. So I know how his laundry detergent smells. This does not smell like his laundry detergent, even though it's a completely different fragrance, although this will make an excellent laundry detergent. Laundry detergent has a soapy scent to it. This does not have a soapiness to it. It has a clean freshness that you find in those types of soaps and detergents. So this doesn't have a soapiness to the fragrance, but it does have that fresh crispness that you find in freshly laundered laundry. So there's no soapiness in this fragrance. It's just bright and crisp and very transparent. And I love that. And the aldehydes in here make this smell timeless and mature, but not dated and heavy. And I love that the aldehydes just add that little added extra oomph, because I think the aldehydes are really what make this fragrance special. So again, it's all these meticulously chosen notes coming together to create another beautiful white, musky, citrus floral fragrance from the house of Francis Kurkdjian. But if you enjoy those fragrances from this house, if you are looking for a more masculine or more shared version, if you're looking for something less sweet, more crisp, bright, sparkling, modern, but still timeless, and somebody who's celebrating aldehydes in a way that's not overpowering, but still very wearable and special, I do think this is worth checking out. Again, do not purchase based on a stranger on the internet. Try to get your nose on a sample or a decant before you purchase, but I would say this is a beautiful addition to the house and a very cohesive member of his house, especially a composition that I see him really doing justice. Because sometimes when you have musks and white florals, they can smell heavy, they can smell suffocating, they can smell dated. And I love those too, to be completely honest, but it's nice to see them done, celebrated properly, properly balanced, and properly represented. And I think that they are done beautifully and effortlessly within this fragrance. But it's not anything new or groundbreaking from the house. So obviously, if you have like Aqua Celestia, this will be a lot different than that. But if you have like Aqua Universalis or Aqua Universalis Forte or Aqua Vitae, I think sample this first because it is similar. It is not the same, but it might be a little bit too similar to add to your collection. But in my opinion, I love this composition of fragrance. It works very well on my skin and my body chemistry and in the environment where I live. And so having something that's a little bit crisper, a little bit fresher, a little bit cleaner, and a little bit more masculine, which I like to smell like from time to time, is a beautiful addition to my collection, and I'm very happy to have it. When it comes down to projection and longevity, these particular fragrances that he creates for his house, I find, have generally moderate performance across the board. I get about maybe 4 to 5 hours on my skin, maybe a little bit longer if it's not too sweaty, but it's been hard to tell because I've only had this fragrance for like a week or two. So I've been able to pick it up on my skin for up to 6 hours, but I will comfortably say 4 to 5. And it has pretty decent projection and sillage. I'd say moderate. You can smell it if you're social distancing and wearing a mask, but it's not an overpowering, suffocating presence on the skin. Also, with aldehydes and white musks and woods and things like that, people can have a very real opinion because of those dated fragrances that their relatives or people at work used to overwear and overspray generations and generations ago. But I don't find that this composition smells overtly challenging or intimidating or reminds me of more mature, dated, white, musky, aldehydic florals from yesterday. There's something very modern and present about this. So I find it to be on the safer side if people enjoy those, but they're worried about maybe people around them who don't like musks and florals and aldehydes. So that is my review of 724 from Francis Kurkdjian. I am biased of the house. I am a huge fan of Francis Kurkdjian, so obviously take whatever opinion I say with whatever weight you would like. But do remember, I purchased this. This was not sent to me to review, and I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you had the opportunity to try this fragrance, I'd love to know what you think, positive or negative. Let me know in the comments section below, and let me know other fragrances that are like this, other white, floral, musky, aldehydic, woody scents out there. I always love finding fragrances like this because they just work really good on my skin, and I'm always looking for an excuse to add more fragrances to my collection. So let me know which those are, what they are in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!